All right, the next application up is the Alien Blitz. What I'm going to do is take this Windows or browser-based video game, and I'm going to add it to a local development environment first. And if all goes well, we'll move it into an actual server under a domain name, so you and other folks can come in and use it. But for now, I just want to make sure it runs locally, and we'll take a look at how to do that. So what I would recommend doing is there is a tool called XAMPP, and let's see, it's XAMPP. I always forget how to spell it. But XAMPP has been around a long time, probably 20 plus years. Initial release date 2002. It's been around a long time. I started using this in like 2006. So it's been around a while. Actually, I learned how to install and uninstall um, WordPress on this a lot when I first got started in about 2005. So it was a great place to learn to build stuff. I've built all sorts of little mini applications on here. It's a great place to install this on your computer, and it's basically like a little mini server. So I've used it quite a bit, in college and also professionally. I've used it for different things. So easy to do. You just come here, you pick Windows, Linux, or um, your Mac or Apple computer, and just install it. And once it installs, just get it running, and you'll end up having this little menu come up here, and you have these under managed servers. What you really need to get going for this is this Apache web server. uh, this is really good for like basic websites, HTML, JavaScript type websites. You can add it here and run it. If you're building something else that is not Apache, PHP can run on here, and there's some other languages. But if you're going to do something with like Node, like JavaScript, you definitely will need to have that installed. That's a whole separate thing. So for this particular project, we can run this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript game on here. We'll see how it goes. I don't anticipate needing to install another server, but if for some reason I need to install something else, we'll be redoing this video. So if this is not running, there's a start and stop button here. You can also restart, but that should be it. And then if you go to the welcome page, there's a go to application or open application folder. So these are both very useful. If you click on open application folder, this is going to launch the application itself, XAMPP files. And in here, there's a folder called HT docs. And that is where you're going to put your website stuff. So here I have Alien Blitz already added. It comes pre-installed with all this other stuff here. Alien Blitz is the one you want. If you go back to this and you click on go to application, this is going to open up kind of just like a welcome page, and it talks about XAMPP. And this right here, this is running as a website on your machine. So if this is up and running, that means XAMPP is running successfully. So go to application, open this up, and this means if you click around and these pages load, it means you're good to go. And there's helpful things in here. It tells you how to use this environment. But yeah, this is mostly for PHP and HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and it even has a MySQL thing in here. And this is just a really awesome place for you to come and learn as a beginner. So if you are getting started and you want to build like PHP sites and you want to learn, like I said, this is a great place to start. We are now working on the Alien Blitz arcade game that's going to be running in our browser. Right now, I've got a local development environment called XAMPP, and I just went over that with you. And I've got that loaded into GitHub, and I've extracted out of GitHub the files, and I'll kind of show you that whole process. And we've got it loaded here, and we do have an error, so I'm working on that now. But here's the game when you load it initially. We got Alien Blitz, and we'll work on stylizing this, making sure it all looks good. But when I hit start, I get this error. And so I'm working on that now. And what I've discovered with Codex is you're not able to copy and paste screenshots, which I think is very helpful to do. And so I'm using ChatGPT and Codex at the same time. And so what I'm doing is I've pasted in the error into ChatGPT, and I'm asking, how to fix it. And so I'm pasting this into Codex, and then Codex has helped me fix it. So this is the last one I did here. You'll see at the top. So it's fixed it. And so now that's inside of GitHub now. But how do I analyze the overall code and just make sure things are going well as I'm updating with Codex? Because I have done several updates with Codex. So something that I've learned that I'll teach you that I think's working well for me, that I've discovered with VibeSheet, is if I simply take the original script builder sheet and I just make a backup by duplicating, I leave that there. I'm going to delete the original script builder sheet. So I'm just going to delete it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a fresh copy. And the reason I'm doing this is I can start importing all the updated code from GitHub in here, and I can have all of the code showing up at one time in a column that I can then take all the code and I can feed it back to ChatGPT. So check this out. So I'm connected to my GitHub account. I'm going to go to import. I'm going to load the repositories, and I see Alien Blitz is at the top, and I'm going to select my files, and we can, for this, we'll just import all. We'll select all, and we don't need a few of these coming in, like the license and the README file. So that's all good. So we'll import this. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring in all the files and all of the code. So we got 17 files imported. So that's quite a bit of files. And really, we have all the code here now. So I'm gonna shrink this down. There we go. And so it'll be a little bit easier to handle. And then all I got to do from here is I can just take all the code in this column, and this is all the project code. And now I can go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, please review code and ensure the error is fixed. And now that I have all the code in here, I can have a conversation with ChatGPT and analyze this. With Codex, it's a little bit harder to do that. It's not going to go as fast because it's going to look at each file one at a time, and there's 17 files, so it's just going to take a while. Everything looks in order. Next step, do you see any other issues that need to be fixed, like bugs or blockers? And I'm just going to ask it for this. Please list any issues and what needs to be done. So let's see what we can get out of this. And then from this, if I have a list, I can go to Codex and I can have it start updating everything, right? Get everything updated in GitHub. And then that way, all the code is in one place in GitHub. It's saved for us and it'll just be there. So that's where I want to keep working, is with Codex. But I'm going to use ChatGPT. I'm going to use this 04 mini high to analyze stuff. Here are the things I spotted that you'll want to address before this is rock solid. So we're missing a game over and lives level logic. Okay. So 1, we got 2 here, 3, 4, 5 things. Okay, so that's good. What we're going to do is we're going to add these to Codex. So we'll get this one going. And all I'm going to do is paste in and let it go. And we'll come back here, and then we got number 2. And the nice thing about this is instead of me having to cut and paste and find the code to go and update and have all this back and forth with ChatGPT, I can just start coming in here and loading all this stuff up. Now, I do prefer to run one at a time. That way I'm not having any conflicts, because what's happening is I'm grabbing all of the GitHub code and I have a task that's cleaning everything up, and then it's going to push that updates back. And if I have 2 tasks running at the same time that update the same files, we are going to have what's called conflicts. And that is a normal thing in the development world. And to avoid that, we will just do one at a time. So it will take a little bit longer, but it's much better this way. So we'll just let this run. This first one will run as soon as it says it's done. We have to merge the code. We can't start this until we go when we merge this one. So once this is done, we have to merge, and then we have to sync it up and archive the task, and then we can start this new one. And I'll just go down this list. But the nice thing about this is Codex is just going to loop over, all the files. It's going to make sure things are in place and kind of just do this automatically for you. So as a beginner or someone that is just trying to figure out all this stuff, and if you're tired, even if you've been around a while and you're just tired and you're pushing yourself to do a lot of hours to build something, is better that you maybe just use the automation so you don't make mistakes. And so if you can use ChatGPT to guide you on what to put into Codex, and it can do a larger analysis like I just did, be really helpful. So I really like the process of using my import to copy all of the code and then do an analysis like this. I'm not going to worry about this. I'm going to create my pull request, and we're just going to go for it. So when this is done spinning, we'll hop over, we'll click the button again, and then allows us to come and do this merge and confirm. And that's it. Immediately click here to get this one going. And then there we go. Got some things here. We'll click create the pull request. And when that's done spinning, we'll hop over to GitHub and we will finish the syncing. We'll merge and then confirm. And that's it. So you hop over here, hit back, and then we'll archive this. You'll see that flip over. And I already got this prepped up, so we're good to go. We'll hit code. Okay, so we got our node stuff updated. So with all that in place, I'm going to show you how to have ChatGPT check all of the code to make sure everything's updated. And it's super easy this way, because if I had to go to Codex, I don't think it would work that well. So all we got to do is come back here, and all we're doing is we're going to delete all of these rows. And then all we have to do is, again, select files manually. It'll pull everything from GitHub, and we can just run a select all, and you can leave it all selected, just import. And that's going to dump all the code into the sheet. Here we go. And what we'll do is maybe we'll just shrink this down even a little bit further to make it easy. There you go. All your code is right here. Doesn't look like a lot because it's all collapsed, but there's a lot of code here. So we'll come back over and we'll say, please review the code to ensure that we have solved all the issues mentioned. Yeah, you can see there's a lot of code that was there. So anyways, we'll let it check everything. Things I'd still tweak. Okay. Overlay template quoting. Now, I don't know if we can give all of this to Codex and have it do everything. I just don't know. I don't know if it would take a while or what. So overlay template quoting. So we'll just start feeding it everything here. My concern with Codex is giving it too much and it's just not being able to kind of keep up with it all. And I just added that to give it more of an action. So we'll let that one go and we'll do this one. For each item, provide directions for the developer so that they know what to change. Ensure you start with something like update, delete, etc. Let's see if we can get more specific like directions from the AI. Update overlay HTML quoting. So we'll take this. Maybe this will be better. We're going to paste this in. And then we'll do the code, remove. This is good because in development and really in applications, we tend to do 4 things: create, read, update, and delete. And we call it CRUD, CRUD. Because it helps to remind you, and we'll just see what happens. So remove duplicate stuff. And we'll do the request here, merge, confirm. And pack. A little bit manually, which I'm fine. You could create a connection into this HT docs and you could keep updating it here using some commands. Totally up to you. If you want to do that, ask ChatGPT how to do it. And it is actually pretty easy. But I don't mind doing it this way just so you can see how to do it manually. And maybe this is just mentally you can understand what's happening. So if I go back to my localhost server and I refresh, failed to load image, I need a blue alien. And I got a whole bunch of PNGs and yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. It's trying to load. It's got like sound effects and images and all sorts of stuff that I just don't have, which is kind of fun, actually. So maybe I got to go make some video game images with AI. Might be kind of fun to do. Images right now. What I'll do is I'll pause the video and go make some of these, which won't take long. If I make, yeah, I'll pause this and I'll come back. Okay, more centered. Well, good news is the game is playing but it's not using the graphics. Get it to look cool. That's the next step. So the game is working, but I am not seeing the images being used, and the aliens are. Let's just do that. Let's figure out how to get the and get all the files in here. Now remember, we don't want the images. That we don't want. So you'll notice it says, and the rest of it, yeah, it's fine. There's a few files we don't need, but it doesn't matter. Like the README file. There we go. There's 18. So we'll grab all this code and we'll come over to ChatGPT. Provide instructions for the developer to fix this. I don't think it's start game. Yeah, it's definitely not working. Good news is it moves. It's just not working. We're close though. I mean, the game is basic, simple, but it's starting to work. Exposure loaded images globally. Update so that after you. Okay, sprite references. Okay. So we're just going to take all of this and we're going to give it to Codex. And we'll get it working. I'm not going to worry about deleting that stuff. I'm just going to send it. It'll be fine. I don't think it'll be too much longer. Yeah, so we're about an hour in right now to getting all this working. I think we're in good shape here. So we'll get this up and running here soon, and we'll have our little video game doing okay. So anyways, hopefully you get the idea of kind of how I'm going back and forth and how you can actually use the GitHub export option into VibeSheet to actually start troubleshooting with ChatGPT, which I think is really powerful. Being able to do that is really cool. I do plan on potentially bringing like a sidebar chat into VibeSheet, and that would be really cool because then you can um, even just instead of copying and pasting from there into ChatGPT, you can chat right through the sheet, and you can use different AI models to do that. So that's something that's I probably will end up happening. This is the current game right now. We can see the different colored aliens. If I refresh, it'll reload the game. I'm doing one more update to the code to make sure the head-up display is working right. I might end up making this button bigger for the start game. but it looks pretty cool. So see the spaceship here. I'm going to make this spaceship a little bit larger. And right now the lasers are a little hard to see. So we'll end up making those, I think, a little bit bigger. But right now you can see the little explosion that happens, which is kind of cool. Well, it got the game going. I've been kind of messing around with it, but yeah, it now gets faster and faster on the levels. I have it on this rapid fire type setting where you can hold it down and keep shooting. So kind of cheating. I should make it where you just press. You only get one shot out of this base bar, but this is kind of fun, like just holding it down and just seeing the effects of it getting faster and faster. Anyway, there's a lot that can be done to keep going, but I think we're done. Not going to do much else to this. So anyways, hopefully this was helpful to see. Maybe the next recording is just showing you how to get it onto a server, but really that's just going to be taking the code from GitHub and deploying it. What would probably be good there is setting up a deployment where GitHub is actually called upon to end up putting it on the server. So, but yeah, we'll take a look at that next, and then certainly on other projects we'll be doing that too. So, anyways, really cool stuff. We've got a arcade game going. So now that is game over. All right, cheers.